What's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out BeautyCounter products again because my very good friend Kristen allowed me to borrow some more products that I didn't get to try in my other video, as well as products in new shades because the shades in the other video didn't quite work out for me. So if you're interested in seeing how these BeautyCounter products work, or just to see how I created this look, then you came to the right place. Just like in the last video, I'm going to start by using the eyeshadow palette, and today I have the BeautyCounter Classic eyeshadow palette, and I'll show you guys the colors. Now, before I even get into doing the eyeshadow, I just want to point out, because I didn't notice this last time when I was doing the other video, every mirror comes out of every palette. How innovative is that? Why isn't every brand doing this? And then it's so cute because after you pull the mirror out, no secrets added. That's adorable. I don't know. I love that. So anyways, like I said, we're starting off with the eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to start by prepping my eyes using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And I'm just setting the eyelids with a little bit of setting powder. I think first off, I'm going to use Suede all over the lid. Next, I'm going to take Sienna, that's right, this one right here, and I'm going to put that in the crease. That first brush I used was a Wet n Wild blending brush, and this brush that I'm using now is the Morphe M433. I really like that color. I did a lot better on this side than on this side. Not the color itself, me, naturally. Alright, now I'm going to take that blending brush I was using earlier, dip it back into Suede, and just blend out the edges here. Now I'm going to take Penny and just use my finger to put that right on the center of my eyelid. That's really pretty. Now I'm going to mix Sable and what was it? Sable and Sienna, these two colors, and kind of go on the edges and the outsides and in the crease around that shimmer shade. Deepen it up just a bit, and I'm going back in with that blending brush because I don't want it to be concentrated too much in one area. I'd like it to just kind of sweep over the glittery parts. This is definitely a lot more wearable of a look than the one I created in my first BeautyCounter video. And I still really like that look, but you know, I know people can't be rocking that dark of eyeshadow everywhere they work or anything like that. This creates a really nice natural wearable look that's easy for a first date or, you know, work or something like that. Now I'm going to take Sable and smudge it on the lash line. To finish up the eyes, I'm going to use the BeautyCounter liquid eyeliner. Even though I'm using my own brush, I wanted to show you guys the applicator. I think that applied very easily and nicely, and now we're ready to move on to the complexion. After I filmed the last video, I decided to go ahead and buy the Adaptive Moisture Lotion, and I love it, and I'm going to be using it to prep the skin today. Just like in my last video, I'm going to be going in with the Tint Skin Foundation, but this time I have a color that I think will match me a little bit better. The shade I'm using today is Chestnut. So far it's slightly darker than I would like, but I think that concealer will help bring it back. Having a foundation that's a little bit darker than your skin is a little bit easier to come back from than foundation that is lighter than your skin. So I definitely stand by what I said before, and that it's very light coverage. I mean, maybe just a little bit more right here and right here. So I definitely stick to what I was saying about it being, you know, more light coverage. I felt like it took me a little bit to blend out, but maybe I should have used a brush. I don't know. It doesn't look bad though. Now, just like in my other video, I'm going to be using the Touch Up Skin Concealer Pen, this time in the color Medium 2. This is still a little bit closer to a highlight shade for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that Maybelline Fit Me Cafe right on the edges to kind of help blend out. To set the under eye, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I'm going to set the rest of the face using my e.l.f. finishing powder. So now that I've set all of the complexion products, I wish that the concealer was a little bit on the warmer side, because I feel like I would have been able to make it work a little bit more. I'm a little worried that my under eyes look slightly gray because of how neutral the actual undertone of the concealer was. So I'm going to go ahead and use my banana powder, my Black Radiance True Complexion setting powder that I'm almost out of. Just kind of mix that in. Helped a little bit. So I probably should have used these next two products before I used finishing powder on my face, but it's okay, it's just finishing powder. It's not the same as like powder foundation or anything. But the next product I'm going to be using is the BeautyCounter Color Pinch Cream Blusher, and I have the shade Umber. It's so beautiful. I love the packaging on these. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and apply these with my fingers. I feel like when I was, whoa, that is very pigmented. I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna just kind of dab it. All right, I'm gonna blend. I'm just using my fingers to blend it out. Helps, you know, warm it up. That's so pretty. I love that. Wow, and that was just like one swipe. All right, so wow, that Umber, yes, this Color Pinch Cream Blusher, so cool. Another cream product I'm going to try out today from BeautyCounter is the BeautyCounter Bronze Glow Cream Highlighter Stick. So that's what the packaging looks like, and here's what it looks like. Twist it up. I'll swatch this one for you. And that's it right there. Very subtle glow. They do have other colors. I'm just gonna place that right above where I blushed. Well, not just right above, but just on the edges. That way it slightly overlaps and gives me a glow on the edge of my blush. So it's not showing up a whole lot, but it's showing up a little bit. The next product I'm going to be using from BeautyCounter is the Radiant All Over Bronzer, and I'm going to be using the shade Cabana. I like this shade. It's definitely more of a subtle shade for me, but it shows up, which is more than I can say for a lot of brands. Moving on to powder highlighter, I'm going to be using the BeautyCounter Luminous Powder Highlighter in Topaz. And I'm just going to basically set the cream highlighter that I applied earlier. And yes, the mirrors come out of these two. Moving on to the lips, I'm going to be using the Color Intense lipstick, just like I used in the last video, but this time I'm going to be using the shade Twilight. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you. This is a very fun, like berry red color, and it is very intense, just like the name suggests. And the very last product I'm going to use today from BeautyCounter is actually the one I'm most excited to try, and that is the BeautyCounter Brow Gel. I have the color Dark. Really like what that's doing to my eyebrows, and it's very easy to use. Alright, so that's all of the new products I had to try today. I'm gonna take off this headband and come back and give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, so I'm back and here are my overall thoughts. Starting from the beginning of the video, the BeautyCounter Classic Eyeshadow Palette is definitely a win for me. You can definitely create one look using just this palette. Unlike in my last video where I had to kind of go into my collection, which is fine, but it's nice that you can just travel on the go with this and be able to create a multitude of looks using just one palette. For the Tint Skin Hydrating Foundation, it doesn't look bad on my skin. It did patch up just a little bit in this area, and I feel that maybe it would have worked out if I used a little bit more, but I was afraid to because this shade is a little bit too dark for me. I wish that there was a shade in between the shade that I tried in my last video and this shade right here. I think that it would be a little bit easier for me to work with, although overall it wasn't bad. I mean, I'm not, you know, I don't hate the way that my skin looks right now. Pretty much the same deal with the BeautyCounter Touch Up Concealer Pen. I wish that there was just another shade in between the two shades that I used, or maybe actually in this case I wish that there was a shade a little bit darker and a little bit more golden. That way it would have worked as a good concealer shade for me. That way I could have put it kind of all over in the places that I normally conceal. The BeautyCounter Color Pinch Cream Blusher was probably my favorite product of all the ones I tried today. I loved how pigmented it was. I used just one swipe and it was just enough for my whole face, well, you know, for my cheeks where I applied it. I particularly loved this color, so definitely my favorite of the bunch today. The BeautyCounter Cream Highlighter in Bronze Glow was okay. It wasn't bad. It didn't show up the way that I would like it to, but I think that maybe using this underneath foundation that's especially more matte to give it a little bit more of a glow would be a good idea, so I may use that a little bit later for that purpose. The Radiant All Over Bronzer in Cabana I thought worked really well. It nicely warmed up my skin, especially because I didn't contour. It was really good for shaping out my skin, but it still warmed it up a little bit. You know, it's very interesting. It's definitely a little warm, but it's not too warm, which was nice. Jumping back to the liquid eyeliner, I really liked it. I didn't see any issues with it. I did use my own brush because I didn't want to contaminate this one because I will be giving this one back, but I really felt like it worked. It is nice and opaque. It was very easy to use, and I think it looks really nice on my eyes. The powder highlighter in Topaz, I really liked that. I thought it brought a really beautiful glow to my skin, especially on top of that cream highlighter stick that I used earlier. The Color Intense lipstick in Twilight, I like it. I don't know why, but I feel that the color of this one is moving around a little bit more than the color of the last one. I do really enjoy the color though, but I just did feel like I needed to clean up, and now I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look as sharp as I'd like it to look around my mouth. And for the last product I used, the BeautyCounter eyebrow gel, I definitely loved it. I love the packaging on this. I think almost as much as I love the packaging on the cream blusher. It's just so cute, so sleek. I think it did a really good job of just placing my brows, giving me just a little bit of volume, but not too much where, you know, my eyebrows feel overdone or anything like that. So that pretty much wraps everything up. Thank you so much for watching. And if you didn't actually catch my first video where I test out BeautyCounter products for the first time, I will link that down below. I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.